6. All right, we're back on record in this case. The matter was previously set for pre-trial, and there was a number of items that we needed in order to be able to move forward on the case. So the hearing was continued to today. There is a putative father hearing aspect of it as well. We're looking for service on the father. There's a list of items to review. So I look forward to the updates. May I have the names of our participants?
Catherine Dumont, lawyer, guardian ad litem.
Nastasia Thomas, counsel for the department. Present is Emily Salinas, who is our CPS worker, and then also present in the courtroom is Miss Jill Tipton, the foster care worker.
Okay.
Michael McFarland, representing mother. She's not in the hall, Your Honor. Is she on Zoom?
No. Have you heard from your client?
I have not. Speaking to the worker, her whereabouts are unknown, possibly Jackson County. She does have a court appearance scheduled up there, I'm told.
Have you tried, I have a phone number for her. I don't know if it works or not, but you tried reaching out?
I have not that way. No. Wasn't this a service?
All right, well, we'll look for any additional updates on that from testimony or presentation from Ms. Thomas. You may proceed at will.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just a few opening remarks. I believe that Ms. Salinas has tried to file the ICWA documentation, and I'm not sure what was attempted, but I know that the packet was pretty large and it was unable to be emailed. And so we are asking the court, I know that it's served or was filed in person today, but the rest of the attorneys don't have service of that. So we're asking the court to just hold on to that, and we will fix the service issue by our next pretrial, which is set for January 27th. I still have not filed the amended petition, but anticipate doing so by end of the week. Miss Tipton filed a court report with a few documents. And I would ask the court just to review the file, and if the notice of putative father was the proof of service, if that was accepted by the court.
I have a proof of service indicating that the Darius Collins order after pretrial hearing was served. So we might need a little testimony about what was served.
Okay, thank you, Anna. So with that, I would ask Ms. Tipton to be sworn in.
All right, Ms. Tipton.
You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, good morning, Jill. You have prepared a court report in part, for today's hearing, and that was circulated, I believe, last week on the 11th. Is that correct?
Yes, December 11th.
Okay. And are there any updates or modifications that you're aware of that need to be made to that document?
I do have an updated memo just with some additional information on some open cases Charlotte may have in other courts. And I do have copies for everyone if that's acceptable.
I'm sorry, I just have a quick clarifying question. I have it looks like a packet of ICWA documents and a memorandum dated 12/13/24. I'm not sure what else. And then some DHS 69. So you said you filed a court report last week. Is that this? This appears to reference the cases that you were talking about.
No, this was December 11th. It's a children's foster care updated court report, my affidavit of efforts.
Oh, no, here it is. Okay, I do have that. Sorry.
Okay.
Thank you. Sorry, just want to make sure I have
Thank you. Thank you for double checking that. Okay, Jill, the memo that you have regarding the updated or a case search for different cases in which mom might be involved. Can you tell us a little bit more about that, since it wasn't properly served or filed at this time. Can you just verbally give us an update on that?
Yes, in Wayne County, there are two cases under Ms. Barnett's name, one in 2018, one in 2019. And it appears to be some sort of domestic case with the father of her oldest child. So I'm not sure if that's a child support case or what it is. So I've inquired with Wayne County because it doesn't really say what kind of case or the status of it. And then I recently found that December 2nd of this year, Charlotte received some criminal charges in the city of Jackson for giving false information to a police officer. And it says that she has an arraignment this Thursday at 12:30 and it has the case number attached.
What are the two letters on the end of the Wayne County cases? Do you know?
They're DS cases.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Okay. And Ms. Tipton, from your report, you have not had any contact with Ms. Barnett, correct?
Correct.
And you have followed the absent parent protocol, and part of you complying with that is also listed in your affidavit of efforts, correct? And the child is currently with a licensed foster care family.
Yes.
And your report indicates that the foster family is at this point in time not interested in permanency through adoption, and so efforts are being made to locate a more permanent placement. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And also looks like maybe another brother was assessed this past week. Were you able to complete that or start that process?
I was not. We had an appointment scheduled for December 12th, and because of a change in work schedule, they had to cancel. And we tentatively rescheduled for yesterday. I reached out to them and I still haven't received a response. So I will reach out again today and attempt to schedule a visit with them.
Okay. And in your efforts, did you also look on VineLink to see if Ms. Barnett was incarcerated at all?
Yes, I've checked that weekly. And so far, I nothing has shown up on VineLink during my search.
All right, 1 minute. I just want to make sure we have. Okay, and then as it relates to the putative father hearing, I'm not sure if this would be you or Ms. Salinas. Was there a proof of service filed as relates to serving Mr. Collins with notice of today's hearing?
That would be Ms. Salinas.
Okay. When you did your search of other cases for Ms. Barnett, did you find anything in Lenawee County?
I did not.
Okay. And did you happen to check my court online?
I did. Yes, and I used my court also for Wayne County and Jackson County because she's known to frequent those counties.
Wonderful. Okay. And at this time, can you just give the court a brief update on how the child is doing?
Yes, she's doing very well in her placement, gaining weight. The pediatrician is happy with her weight gain. She's had 2 well child exams so far, eating well, sleeping well. A referral for early on has been made. Foster parents don't have any concern at this time about her development. I included in my court report just a medical report we recently received to show that the cord blood taken after birth was positive for methamphetamines and amphetamines. To date, she doesn't seem to be exhibiting any concerning behaviors due to that. and the foster parents have taken turns, she's been placed with them, taking off of work to be home. But I do believe she's gonna start daycare here on the beginning of the second week of January.
Wonderful. Is there anything else you'd like to give the court an update on?
No, I don't believe so. Thank you.
Thank you. I have no further questions, Your Honor, of Ms. Tipton. Would move to admit her portion of the court report that was filed last week, which I believe was a total of 12 pages.
I did receive the court report. I'd like to ask her if my client's been served with the court report or attempted.
Sure, go ahead.
Has my client been served with the court report or attempted to be served?
She has not been served. I've attempted by calling her phone number and checking shelters, including Share the Warmth, in an attempt to locate her, and it has not been successful. So
I guess my dilemma, Your Honor, is it does have to be served 7 days prior to the court report, but whereabouts are unknown, and she's not here, so I'm going to take no position.
Any objections, Ms. Dumont? No, Your Honor. Thank you. I'm going to admit it. It delineates the efforts to find your client, Mr. McFarland, as well as the updates on the child and support for those efforts. So it is admitted. I have also, go ahead, Ms. Thomas, did you have any other issues to address with Ms. Tipton?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Tipton, did you have a chance to review the pretrial order from last time we were here?
I did, yes.
Okay, so there's some things in here, and I just want to know which ones you can answer and which ones Ms. Salinas can.
Okay, yes.
So prior ICWA inquiry documents. I received today what appears to be a stack of new ones. So do you know if there was any search done for prior or any prior ICWA search documents that were supplied?
I do know, and Ms. Salinas completed those documents and those were sent, but I do know in a meeting yesterday we discussed, we found 2 incidents of documentation where Ms. Barnett denied Native American heritage. And so we've included those in there just to show that's why they're having previous searches done. And I do know that she indicated she was affiliated with the Sioux tribe, and I believe there are 16 different tribes. And so documentation has been sent to all of them.
All right, so did you say you included something from a prior ICWA search, or just that you executed your ICWA search?
That would be with Ms. Salinas's report, the big one that came over. There should be 2 social work case contacts.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying what that is. I know that everybody else is gonna have a chance to look at these, but I just want to get my head. Okay, thank you for that. So the proof of service on putative filing Darius Collins, that's probably an Emily Salinas question?
Yes.
Okay. And that's it. Thank you. Well, hang on. Does anybody else have questions based on my questions?
Thank you.
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Great, that's fine. Any other witnesses, Ms. Thomas?
Yes, Your Honor, for purposes of the putative father hearing, I would ask Ms. Salinas to be sworn in.
Okay, Emily Salinas.
You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
All right, good morning, Emily. Thank you for your attempts to file that ICWA documentation. And in addition to that, were you able to file a proof of service for Mr. Collins indicating that a putative father hearing would be held today?
Yes.
Okay. And I know that the court received a proof of service indicating the order after pretrial was served prelim was served, I believe. Did you serve him the order after last week's hearing?
Yes.
And did you file proof of service indicating that?
Yep, that same day.
Okay. And were you able to speak with Mr. Collins in person?
Yes.
Did he indicate whether he had any inclination to participate in this case or to have DNA taken for the child?
He stated that he was gonna be here today and that he wanted to do the DNA test. So, but he's not here.
And have you heard from him today?
I do not know.
And do you have like a working phone number for him?
I do, yes.
Did you attempt to touch base with him today to see if he still was planning on coming or if something came up?
I do not know.
All right. And if the court were to order DNA testing, that is something that, with the assistance of Ms. Sitton, you could make referrals for Mr. Collins and the child. Is that something you would be able to do?
Yes.
Thank you. With that, Your Honor, I have no further questions. I would just ask the court to review its file to see whether a proof of service reflecting Ms. Salinas' testimony is in fact part of the court record.
So what I have is Darius Collins' order after pretrial hearing. So I did issue an order after pretrial hearing. It was not specific to Darius Collins. My only concern, Ms. Salinas, is that he should have had the notice of putative father hearing in addition to this one. So what I'd be inclined to do, Ms. Thomas, would be just simply to issue another notice of putative father hearing. Ask Ms. Salinas to serve that in addition to whatever today's order is that authorizes that DNA testing.
Your Honor, I'm not, so I believe that when Ms. Salinas and I spoke about this, the notice for putative father hearing was set for our last court date. And so after that court date, I asked her to not only give him the notice of putative father hearing, but also the order after the pretrial, because that last page would continue the putative father hearing.
Correct. That would have been accurate. It looks like, according to the proof of service, only the order after pretrial hearing was served, not the actual notice of putative father hearing. So just one of the two documents.
Okay. Ms. Salinas, did you serve both documents though?
Yes, I served what I was emailed.
I didn't hear that last part.
I was served what I was emailed at the order.
You served him by email, is that what I
No,
heard?
what was emailed to me, the order that was
Thank you.
given to me, yes.
Ah,
She's pretty quiet even from here. Sorry. Do you have any updated address? He's still at 1102 Fairlane Drive. Okay. I did not serve him there though. He wanted to meet me in like a public setting. 7 Adrian? Yes, thank you. Sorry, Ms. Thomas, go ahead.
No, that's okay, Your Honor. I believe that my intention was going to be ask for an order for DNA, given that Mr. Collins is at least responsive to Ms. Salinas, and then obviously continuing the putative father hearing to our next pretrial in January. So I believe it would be fine to get another notice of putative father hearing.
Your thoughts, Ms. Dumont? I have no question. Okay, any position, Mr. McFarland?
I guess, am I hearing that he was served with the putative notice hearing also? It just was not put on the proof of service?
It does not appear that that got served. Okay, any other questions, Ms. Thomas?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Salinas, I have the Native American inquiry and the documentation that it was sent, which I appreciate. So if you get any responses, any green cards, we'll just look forward to receiving those as well. Okay. Any other questions for Ms. Salinas?
Just one. Is that placement of a minor child on Zoom?
Sorry? Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Good one. Thank you for your testimony. You may return your seat. Anything else for this morning then, Ms. Thomas?
Not from the department, Your Honor.
Mr. McFarland?
Well, no, I take it that the court's not going to accept any documents I was not served, but if the court does, if I can just preserve my right to object or make commentary at our next pretrial.
The only thing I've received this morning is the court report that was prepared for last time, which,
I've received
yes. And I do have 2 copies of the ICWA inquiry, so I can make you a copy of the certified mail receipts and the social work contacts and the cover sheet, so you don't have to wait.
that. Waiting is fine since we're coming back.
Okay, anything else this morning, Ms. Dumont?
No, Your Honor, I did file the LJL report. The minor child's doing fine in her current placement, and I think it's in the best interest to remain there and to continue with the goal of adoption.
Thank you. All right, well, then, that's all for today. We're gonna continue the putative father hearing to Monday, January 27th at 10 a.m. We'll continue the monitoring of the ICWA search, and I'll leave those for further discussion in January, but I have received some of the information and I think we're on our way. I'm gonna do another notice of putative father hearing. Ms. Salinas, if you could wait for that before you. I mean, unless there's any questions, all prior orders remain in full force and effect pending our next hearing on January 27th at 10 a.m.